G'day everyone, Uncle Jojo, warm jigger, to another Rip Roaring episode. Today is an announcement to all of my tradie mates out there. Really big thing is that we're expected to work through the coronavirus in Melbourne, Australia, and it's giving us mixed messages. We're not allowed to go out and hang out with our family or our friends, but we're allowed to go into people's homes and continue working. It's a little bit of a, how would you say, there's a lot of confusion going on with what we can do, what we can't do, and what we should be doing. Either which way, because we're tradies and we're working and we're part of the community, it's our responsibility to be looking after the community the best we can and the people that we work with. So let's touch on base on a few of these things. First and foremost, gloves, wherever you can. Black or blue or see-through. Do you like my rhyme? Black or blue or see-through. Gloves, whatever, it doesn't really matter what color the gloves are, as long as you're wearing gloves wherever you can. If you can't wear gloves, I find it really hard to wear gloves when I'm working away. I just wash my hands down with metho, dry them out, or I've got disinfectant, like a dissolvent, like a citrus one. There's also a vinegar that I can wash my hands down with. They're all natural ones, well, except for the metho. And you've got to be careful where you are using certain chemicals. You can spray down handrails, or if you're using elevators or any of those things, make sure you clean areas down whenever you can. And make sure that you're not passing on germs, so you're not shaking hands with people and all of that kind of stuff. There's a lot of information out there, and I'm reading a lot of cross communication with some of these things. So I'm going to give you the basics of what I've read and picked up along the way. And this is whole new area. Nobody's ever gone into this area before, this coronavirus thing that's taken over, a global pandemic, taken over everything. So we need to work as a team to make sure that we take care of our community. The community that takes care of us, we've got to make sure that we're taking care of them as well. So gloves is first and foremost. If you don't, or if you can't use gloves, as I said, I can't use gloves when I'm using certain tools. They won't survive. Number one. Number two, they'll rip. And number three, I can't feel much through these, and sometimes I really have to feel the materials and things that I'm doing for safety reasons as well. Then there's the cleaning down of all of those things, but then there's the basic things as well. Make sure that who you're working with, you work with that same person every single day. Then you know if they get it or you get it, you can isolate yourself. If you have a contractor coming to site, then you let them use the site and you don't use the site with them. What I mean by that is, I've got an electrician that comes to site, he does his job, I don't have anybody else in there. When he finishes his job, then I can get other people in, they can be cleaning things down, like door handles, etc., and then we can keep working away. So what I'm doing is I'm not mixing my trades. I'm making sure that my trades are segregated. And I don't mean that in a mean way, I'm just saying that is in, we need to make sure that we're all looking after each other. And try and work in pairs or by yourself, wherever you can. It's good for morale to be working in pairs, but the less people you work with, the better, obviously, for the spread of that. We can't always be lifting materials and holding them and shooting them by ourselves. That's just not possible. Sometimes we need ourselves and two other people to be doing certain things. So we can't help that. Whoever you're working with, make sure you know that they're being as safe as you're being. So I've sat my guys down and we've had a chat about washing our hands, about who we're living with at home. My whole family has moved away so I can continue to work and they're not in jeopardy. I haven't seen my family at all for the last 3 weeks. So that's been pretty hard for me. So make sure that you do that as well. Make sure that you, if you need to, separate yourself from whoever so that you can keep working, but you're not going to spread those germs. There's no point in those people being isolated at home by themselves and then you going in and out to 100 different people's houses or working with 100 different tradies and spreading germs around. That's what we're trying to stop wherever we can. I know it's really hard. Believe me, I understand how hard it is. We've all got to try and make ends meet every single day, and that's probably the hardest part. But we have a responsibility to look after the community that has looked after us, and especially the older community. It is so important to make sure that we're looking after the older community on this one. they've served us for so long. If not just us, they've paid taxes. Some of them have fought in wars for us. Some of them have fought for freedom for us. And we need to make sure that we look after them now when they need us more than anything. So it's our responsibility to make sure that we look after other people. Take the right steps, use that area wherever you need to, and make sure you've got that social distancing working. I'm watching that work throughout all of our community, and it is fantastic. It is so good to see so much cooperation, and there are people helping each other out. There is so much good news. There is a really good sense of community where people are helping each other out, and that is awesome, town. It's really letting the stars shine brightly. In this moment of darkness, we can see everything clearly, and we can now change the way that we're doing stuff to better moving forward. That's what we've got to do, is look at now and look at the future and better moving forward. Stop playing the blame game. He said, she said, they did that, they did this. Don't worry about that. We need to look forward at where we want to be in another 3 months' time, 6 months' time, 12 months' time, and what we want for our communities to keep them strong and keep going. Australia suffered from fires this year, floods this year, and now a pandemic. Like, truth almighty, how bad does it get? And we need to come together as a community and really strengthen ourselves, like build up some good muscle and get into it so we can be stronger going forward. Thanks for watching. Any questions about that, flick it over. Any comments, flick them over. Happy to have a chat with you about it. Like always, stay unreal banana peels. I'll see you in the soup.